This is the story of the fruit of the Spirit. Paul helped people understand how to live the way God wanted them to live. One time, Paul wrote a letter to a group of people called the Galatians. The Galatians had a new church and they needed lots of help. One of the problems they had was that they were always arguing. They fought and fought about all sorts of things. The Galatians didn't always agree about what it meant to be a church and what rules to follow. They had a hard time getting along, and it was getting in the way of them making a good church. Paul wrote a letter to the Galatians to tell them to stop fighting. He had some great advice. To the Galatians, the letter said, I am so happy that you believe in Jesus, but all your fighting is getting in the way. You're not living the way the Holy Spirit tells you to live. I have a suggestion to try. Instead of living like you are, live with the fruit of the Spirit in mind. Show love, joy, peace, and patience to one another. Be kind, generous, and faithful. And remember, be gentle with one another and always show good self-control. Live with the fruit of the Spirit in mind. That's the way the Holy Spirit wants you to live. The Galatians looked at each other. They were very quiet. Paul was right. They weren't living the way the Holy Spirit wanted them to. What were they thinking? All this fighting was just not right. At the end of his letter, Paul wrote, the way for you to get along and be a church is to let God's love fill you. May the grace of God be with you, Paul. Each day, the Galatians tried to remember the words of Paul's letter. They said yes to peace, no to fighting, yes to kindness, no to anger, yes to being generous, no to being greedy. Little by little, the Galatians saw God's love and showed it to others. They felt loved by God and they loved each other.